Ooh, what's up everyone? It is Thursday night for me. Might be Thursday night for you if I can get this edited and up tonight. We'll see. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. But look at this, buddy. This thing. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like, I can't believe how well it's turned out. I'm not done with it yet. I still have to do some stuff we'll talk about here, but man. I wasn't sure I could get this thing to this level, but oh boy, it's good. So if you're not familiar, the plan with this puppy is to do a giveaway in June. And yeah, I'm second guessing a little bit, but I'm gonna do a giveaway on it. But holy moly, just so much has been done to get this thing to where it's at. It's really exciting. So open house this weekend, Saturday 10 to 2. You're gonna be able to come to the house, tour it if you'd like. Should probably use the Incredibrush for this, but the car is not particularly dirty, but I'm washing everything for the open house. E92's clean. The 992 Touring is cleanish, and I'm gonna start polishing that next week. But open house is coming up here in a couple of days, so I'm washing. And I'm gonna be doing a whole lot of washing here because a lot of my major projects, all this stuff that I've been backlogging and talking about or complaining about for so long, is about to come to fruition. So then I can start to just choose projects and really dial things in. I'm gonna, knock on wood, stay in this house for a little while. That's gonna afford me the ability to just get things, get every drawer, everything organized. I realize what I've been doing for quite some time now. But I've been like, instead of just setting up my place or my garage, which, this is what I did in the beginning, is I was setting myself up and then I would figure out how to sell it later. Instead of setting, like setting up my garage and then developing products around it. I've kind of veered from that for the last few years just because of how many ideas I had in my head and how quickly we needed to do that. Or I felt the need to do that. Wow, this car looks so good, man. It looks as good as you're seeing it, if not better. I don't tend to over-exaggerate on what cars look like. I tend to under-exaggerate. Where this thing is now compared to what it was when I got it, oh my gosh. You would have had to have seen it in person. It really doesn't need brake buster here. It's not really dirty enough for this, but I really want to clean the tires. The first initial sort of cleaning of the tires is the best time to put the first, application of tire dressing after a detail. And so I felt it's probably worth the effort to go ahead and just do a full cleaning on them. I drove it around a little bit just to check on the brakes. It sat outside for a little while too. And so normally I wouldn't wash it if it was this cleanish, but it's too dirty to wipe down. Not clean enough for an open house, if you know what I mean. But it was really touch and go on this car with me, and not knowing if I could really pull it off. The interior looks really great. Nero's sending me the black cage here. I should have it next week. I'm gonna take it to get it aligned. Obviously the new wheels, tires, brakes. I've got to re-bleed the brakes. The pedal's a little squishy. But I did confirm that these brakes, I was a little nervous that I thought maybe these brakes were incorrect. These are 997.1 brakes, which are largely identical. There's a little difference in the rear. I was afraid that when the pedal was spongy after I was bleeding, Mike bled him 3 times. I was a little nervous that maybe the whatever they call the pistons were a little different sized, but turns out they're all the same. The term is leaving, it's leaving me right now, but you know what I mean. The little cups that push on the back of the pads. Everything bolted up with the exception of the caliper bolt length was different on the 997.1 rear caliper. The thing that's really awesome though is how great the PPF came out. Just needed a deep cleaning, a nice jeweling, needed polished. And so that polishing really changed the whole look and feel of the car. Now it went from being a car to my car. Shoot, Chase has been running away. Not running away, but he met some dog buddies down the street, so he's been breaking out of his electric fence and almost getting run over. People keep bringing him back. Tell Michelle, the dog's gonna get stolen. Somebody's gonna take him home and not bring him back because they're not gonna know where he's from. So I'll order my Dundon setup. Maybe mid next month or so, something like that. So I'll order that in a little bit. It's like I timed the sun perfectly. I've been working on reorganizing, finishing all the hay flow in the kitchen here, getting the kitchen finally organized. Threw away a bunch of stuff, reorganized a bunch of things. I'll share it with you when I do a house update. I've actually been here for a year now. It's the longest I've been in a house in a while. So I finally getting this thing put together. We just got back from Helen. We got 90% of the outdoor kitchen done, 75% of the outdoor kitchen done. We're waiting on countertops. Once the countertops come, then we can put the grill and Evo in permanently. I'm waiting on one of our hoods is on back order as well, so I have to get that Vent-A-Hood. But we're almost done with phase, I guess it'd be phase 3 of Helen. I'm gonna sit tight a little bit longer. I'm not ready to buy a car for up there yet. I want to get this car done, complete. If this does really well, I think what I'd like to do is I might hold off on getting a 997 RS for here and get a 16 RS instead for Helen, for the mountain house. I mean, that's what I really want. The prices on those seem to be falling a bit as predicted. So I'd really love to get one of those for there, but that's 200K versus 100,000 for the M3. So I do think that this giveaway is going to do extremely well. I think it's going to cover this and then some. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, could you imagine winning this freaking thing? I can't even imagine I have it right now. I own the darn thing. This is crazy. It's freaking awesome. I have to pull the tint off. Definitely off the windshield for sure. It's 50% on the windshield, it looks like. figure all of the underside is all clean. I replaced any plastics that were broken or needed to be fixed. The front lip is new. That was a big change in what the exterior looks like. I'm not changing the wing risers. I like the taller wing. Makes it so you can see out the window too. And does perform a little better. Yeah, man, just look how good that looks. I'll put the new center caps on this video here. We'll finish that here today. So those of you who are new here because of this car that aren't familiar, so what I mean by a giveaway, the way giveaways work, you have to call it a giveaway. It's really like it's a virtual raffle, right? There has to be, there's all kinds of rules you have to do. I have an attorney that draws up all the stuff. And if I were to just, everybody gets all excited, oh, I'm gonna buy that set of cabinets that I was planning on buying. That's not the way it works. First of all, that would screw everybody that it would just make it impossible, you know, for anybody who wanted to buy like a reasonable thing. And so those who bought $20,000 cabinets would like automatically win or have a much higher probability of winning. And then for me, I was already going to sell cabinets anyway, so I can't give away a $300,000 car, because that's about what I'll be in at this thing. I can't just give that away inside of like regular profitability. It doesn't work. So I'd go bankrupt. So what I need to sell different things at higher margins in order to generate enough additional revenue to make this worthwhile. Now granted, there's some marketing advantage, you know, so the risk I'm taking, now I haven't lost any money yet. I mean, the M2, I think, made 200 grand or something like that. What's going on with this freaking wheel? The brake on. Just slope to the driveway. So there's a marketing advantage to doing these giveaway things, but basically, we'll have a bunch of different things in the store that'll be kind of cool. Things that, I mean, only one person's gonna win, so everybody else that doesn't, you're not gonna, at least you're gonna get something like the shirt you get will be the best shirt that you own. The hat that you buy will be your favorite hat, you know, and it'll be something that, you know, when I sell a shirt to you, I want the shirt to be something that you really like, because I want you to buy another one in the future. So we're always going to do, you know, higher quality stuff. But you can't buy a $10,000 air compressor and have it count. It doesn't work that way, unless we add an air compressor as part of the package. So you'll know it'll be 60 or 70 things in the store, stuff that I think is pretty cool. Every $5 you spend, you get an entry. And then someone is gonna have their freaking life changed when they get this thing. Now, when you win it, you're gonna have to deal with the tax ramifications of it. You're gonna have to pay tax. So you're gonna get a 1099 for $260,000. You're gonna have to figure that one out. So then people are always like, well, Matt, why don't you give people money too? On top of it. I like this angle here. You can see the garage a little bit. Well, because that doesn't work. So let's say I gave somebody 100 grand. Now you're gonna have to pay, it's an infinite loop. So you get the car, I give you $100,000 cash plus the car. You're gonna pay tax on the car, but then you're gonna have to pay tax on the 100 grand. So then am I supposed to give you 20 grand, 25 grand to pay tax on the 100 grand? And then I'm supposed to give you, 10 grand to pay tax on the 25 grand. And then I'll give you 5 grand to pay, you can see where I'm going with this. It's infinite. So let's say somebody wins this. I mean, the odds are generally people that follow me and watch me are generally doing pretty well in life. Otherwise, most people that aren't get turned off by this whole thing. So, and the language that I use. So chances are somebody who wins it's going to be doing okay. And like if I would have won this, let's say I was 30 years old, I'm making 90 grand, 100 grand, and I won this thing. I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have $100,000 to pay the tax. Because what'll happen is you're making 100 grand, you get 1099 for 260. Now it looks like you're making 360. And so now you're going to bump yourself into a completely different tax bracket. Your marginal tax bracket will go up. You'll owe 80, 90,000 bucks in tax over and above what you paid tax on your 100 grand already. So if it were me, I'm making 100 grand, I can't pay the tax, I would get a loan. I'd just take and get a title loan, get a car loan on the car, and I'd make payments. But you don't have to get a loan for like 90 grand. And so you could have this car and have like a, you know, a $1,000 a month payment for a 997 RS. Or you can just sell it. Keep it for the year, you know, because we're going to give away the thing in August. So keep it for a year, or, you know, 3/4 of a year. Or file an extension, and then come, you know, September, or let's say, yeah, I guess, you know, August of the following year. Yeah, file an extension, keep it for a year, and file an extension, do your taxes then. I'll hook you up with my accountant, or we'll get you one, or find yourself one, and sell it. So you keep the car for a year, sell it, pocket the 300 G's that you sell it for, or whatever it sells for, and I mean, I think this car is probably worth 280 now. I bought it for 260. It was probably really only worth 230, but now it's really freaking nice. So again, I have the dual Krenzel set up here. So we're doing 4 gallons a minute, 4.2 gallons a minute. So the car has Crystal Serum Ultra on top of XPEL. I'm pretty sure it's XPEL film. Looks like XPEL Ultimate, pretty typical. It just needed really cleaned up. If you didn't watch the video, I made a video polishing the PPF, but you know, it's the last guy wasn't a detailer like me. So jeez. But I did Crystal Serum Ultra topped with XOV4. So the old XO version, a single layer. Normally I would do 2, but I just felt like it didn't need it. But holy crap, this thing cleaned up nicely. I knew I could get the car looking pretty good, but I didn't think I could get it this good. And I'm not blowing any smoke. You know, all cars look good on camera, I argue. But this thing now, it's not just looking good on camera. It just freaking looks good, period. Yeah, so needless to say, I'm pretty pleased. So, you know, what I found, I've never polished an entire car PPF before, you know, where the whole thing needed cleaned. You know, this is the first time I've ever done that. Had to really dial it in, but it had just like normal surface level defects and scratches, even though it kind of self-heals a little bit. I was kind of, you know, it's like, I'd say it's a pretty decent paint protection film job. Not at like Ryan's level of nice, but decent enough. And it just felt real crunchy, even after deconning it. Well, what I found when I was using the pads, it was like filling up with dirt. Like there's like embedded dirt that wouldn't even come off on the decon step. So just that process of going through and really just kind of deep cleaning the car really made it pop. So now it's about as good as I think it could look without me ripping off, $7,000, $3,500 worth of PPF and redoing it. I just don't. I would do that if I thought it needed it, but it's good. It's really good. Those of you who come to the open house, you'll see it. It's more than acceptable to me. Now, I would probably replace the PPF sooner, maybe if I was going to keep this car, I'd probably replace it in 2 or 3 years. But 2 or 3 years is a long time from now. Who knows, man? I mean, if he maintained it. But yeah, transmission's good. I have to bleed the brakes, get an alignment done. I did raise the front end up a solid inch, like maybe a little bit more than 3/4 of an inch. I raised the front end up, which just made the car, I thought it looked okay. It was a little too low because the rear wasn't as low. But adding the meatier sidewalls on the Cup 2s, I think the offsets on these BBS, these are REMTSPs. I think the offsets are the same as stock. They're pretty darn close if they're not. But the meatier sidewall fills the fender well better. Just looks freaking great. Taking the goofy yellow badges off. And when I get the yellow cage out of it, I'll fix the driver's seat. I'm going to do that shortly. And then once I get the Dundon exhaust, the sole bypass that we have on it, the center bypass, is pretty decent. I mean, the car sounds good. But I decided also not to do the full Dundon D4 package. It's just a lot. And then there's, potential, because it's a full tune, and really, in order to maximize D4, it really needs a custom tune, not just a, flash tune, out of the box tune. So I just don't want to deal with problems. The car doesn't feel underpowered at all to me. We'll gain like 20, 25 horsepower from the headers. And obviously it'll sound awesome. So I think I'm gonna stick with just doing the headers. And I'm just waiting as we get closer to the giveaway, so I have some stuff to do. Because I hit this car pretty hard, really fast, because I was afraid I was gonna have to do like a transmission rebuild and all that. But come to find out, I should have paid attention to the comments in the beginning, but 2 owners ago, the Greek is his screen name on Renlist, had told me before that he had the transmission sorted. And so it was just an adjustment in the numeric. I didn't really like the numeric anyway. It was just too darn much. By the way, I spent about 3.5 hours, 3 hours on just the door jams alone. They're still not perfect, but a lot of dry wiping going on with those door jams over the years, I'm sure. Just some deep scratches that took a lot of work to get out. And this paint, I used to paint on the door jams as hard as a frickin' rock. I sit there polishing them for hours. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited about this car and the giveaway and all that. And the G80's on. This will go in June. We're still slated to do the E36 in September. I'll probably get some other giveaway car between now and then. By the way, I've been seeing a lot of videos where people making detailers and the like, they think that foaming the car down solves the problem. you need to be doing it this way, where I only do this amount of section. I flip, I do that size of a section, go back to my buckets. Stop. Like these guys are just wiping a whole half of the car down. Don't do that. You're gonna scratch it. So, just a reminder there. Ooh, this car's good. Running a daylight here, I'm gonna pull it in. First we'll rinse it. We'll rinse it, dry it out here, blow it off out here. And we'll pull it in. I've got lights now, we got cabinets now. We got a functioning garage. I got drawer organization to do. And countertops to finish, backsplash. I'm sharing all that with you. But if you haven't watched the list of videos, watch those. More list of stuff to come. For those of you panicked, I have no intention to stop selling Sonic. I just needed another cabinet line. I needed some more options for people, color-wise, cabinet size-wise. And Sonic hasn't been able to supply us. We just selling too many and we don't have enough. But go watch the video. I talk a lot about my thoughts there on the pros and cons of each. I like both. I feel really fortunate to have both in my life. This is so different watching this car now that it's dialed in. Man. The dual Krenzel's been working flawlessly. By the way, I forgot to mention I'm using GSF. No reason to use reset, I just coated the thing, so. I love it when the car can get a couple of weeks though. So I think I coated it because we were in Helen for a week. So I finished the coating well over a week ago. So it's been able to, it sat out in the sun for a day. So it's been able to really cure before washing it. And I think I'm gonna have to eat some crow with all you European guys that I've been giving a hard time over the years about snow foam, using a pre-wash. I've been built hammer pre-washing here lately, so I might have to eat some words that I've said over the years, which I will gladly do. But more to come on that. Now that I have a fully functioning garage here at home, I can really start to get back into, this spring is going to be heavy in detailing and testing and playing with products and making, detailing videos like this. I'm going to build right out here. I've decided we're going to stay in this house a little while, but over there where the basketball hoop is, I'm going to build a wash bay. So I'm going to build probably like a 30 by 30 pole barn with kind of like I had in the Woodgate house, where I had a cabinet array with some, with probably another TV and some more speakers where I can demo some more stuff, but we'll do a osmotic drying system and do all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, let me put this away. Let's blow dry the car off and get it pulled in and chat some more. So let's put this away. Really no additional work on the Krenzels. Just turn them off. That's all I have to do. Just turn them off and then disconnect my hose. So I turn off here, turn off the water, turn off 1, 2. And if you already have a setup, all you would need to do is, we will have it here soon, but we'll have a system where like you could just add a second one. You just add another outlet and just put it right above the other one, and then you just add this little umbilical cord. So same fitting that you had on the piping package, we just add in these extra pieces to make it work. This is still my original Cobra jet. Like original. Looks good, works good. I mean, I'd like to swap. The OG hose is better. I still sell both. I like both. But the Gates hose, the OG Gates hose is a little more pliable. Just a tiny bit, but you can't go wrong with either. It's not worth, even in my case, and I make the darn Gates hoses, the OG hose, we make them ourselves. It's not even worth me pulling this out and swapping it because this hose is great. I'm gonna put my old, I'm gonna put my 991 GT3 RS car cover on this one to see if it'll probably be a little big, but it should fit. Car's not that much different. Should put the PP plug in first. PP plug, set my drag, my system's clean. Perfect. Still need to get the proper nozzle. Like I need to get the OG spec nozzle. I don't have one. I don't have a, this needs a 7.5. I didn't have a 7.5 insert. So I need to get one. All right, let me blow this thing off. It's too dark, so, but you've seen me blow it off 100 times. So I'm gonna blow it off with the Ego, and we'll come in here and dry it off together. All right, let's dry it off. Whew, my garage is starting to come together. Got lighting, got proper garage doors and door openers. It's air conditioned. It's starting to get hot out. I'm already sweating. Yeah, it's coming together. Gotta finish the countertops. I ordered my backsplash. We'll talk about audio and stuff like that. I'll do a garage update tour. I got a lot to update you on because I've been working really hard here lately to get this place put together. So that way I can start to focus on the future rather than always thinking about the past. You know, what's next instead of what have I already talked about that I'm planning, that I'm still haven't done yet. I don't like that kind of living, that kind of life. OG drying aid. So again, I did crystal serum light on the front, and I ran out. I apparently didn't have any, so I did crystal serum ultra on the rear. Topped the whole car with EXO. The windows here have CSU and EXO. And then the windshield has Wolf's nano glass sealant. Whew, man, Cree lights. It's been a long time coming. You know, I had Cree lights and I have them at HQ, but those ceilings are much taller. And I did Cree lights at the last house. I wasn't there long enough to really use them, but those were troffers, not linear fixtures. The troffers were nice. They just stuck off the ceiling quite a bit. So that was me being your guinea pig as usual. But it's big time pollen season. We're almost out of it here in Central Florida. Another couple of weeks, the pollen will subside. So I will cover this car. Otherwise it'll be covered in even in the garage here for my kids going in and out. Good, people. Really good. So my long-term plan is to get one of these cars. We'll see how the giveaway does. We'll see how we do in the spring. But here in Central Florida, at this house, It sounds so weird. I talk about having different houses. You know, the house in the mountains would have 16 RS. Here I'd have the E92, the Touring, and then a 997 RS. And then, you know, a couple of times a year, I usually get some sort of giveaway car as well. I don't intend to do giveaways forever. You know, hopefully, maybe 2. I think we plan to do like 3 more years of them. And then, you know, hopefully I don't need to do it. I mean, I don't need to do it now, but maybe I figure out something different to do. There's still the outline of Porsche, which I think both of my 991 RSs had the Porsche emblem etched into the surface, and they wouldn't come out. So I don't think it's actually on the PPF. I think it's in the paint underneath, because it didn't seem to improve at all. Now the stripes that I was complaining about, the stripes came out, the PPF. And that was my determination factor on whether or not I was going to be redoing the paint protection film on the car. But luckily for me, I don't have to. Get to save the money and the time. The only thing that would make me want to do it, pull it off, was in order to be able to, I wonder how well the car is, how good the paint is underneath the PPF. But for what I was expecting on this car, you know, there's some rock chips underneath the PPF, you know, so there's some bubbling and stuff. And, you know, but there's a whole lot less than I thought there would be. So it's good. You'll see it. Whenever you guys get to see the car, those of you who are local, you'll see what I'm talking about. I'd say this car is now a 2-footer. From 2 feet away, it looks perfect. Once you get beyond 2 feet, you'll start to see some of the imperfections. But generally speaking, it's a really, really nice car. And it wasn't, but now it is. But I mean, I don't know, in the hundreds of hours, 100 plus hours into this thing. Just the interior alone, I probably have 30 hours alone. Dry ice cleaning. So just picture, not my labor rate, but you know, if you're $100 an hour labor, and you had 100 hours, you know, was that 10 grand in labor alone? Labor doesn't really cost $100 an hour, especially at my level of expertise, no matter what you think. So we got a lot of hours into this thing. The front lips are supposed to be $180. They're freaking $450 or $425, I think it was. So $450 was shipping. Probably $475 was shipping. Tax. So $500 plus for a new front lip. That was a stinger, but boy was it worth it, because the front lip, the new one, I thought the old one was okay. It's a little dinged up. I didn't realize how chewed up it really was until I put the new one on. I was like, oh my gosh. It like transformed how the quality of the exterior looks like. See, like this is an example. How would you not edge wrap they didn't edge wrap the gas door. It's the easiest thing to edge wrap ever. They cut it short. So that was, you know, some of the stuff was making me want to redo it, but seeing how well it turned out, I'm pretty psyched about it. So another reminder for those of you who are, again, are newer or haven't heard me say this before, this is a giveaway car, but it's my car first, giveaway second. So if I'm going to have a 30,000 mile, $260,000, $300,000 GT3 RS at this quality, what would I accept personally? This, at the moment, I paid for it, I own it, it's my car. What am I willing to accept? Where would I draw the line? And so I'm not drawing the line based on it being a giveaway. I'm drawing the line based on it being my car. Hence, me doing, on my car, I wouldn't be doing Dundon D4. I just don't want any problems. I want it to be pretty simple. So I'm not doing Dundon D4. I'm just doing Dundon headers. Dundon D4 was plenum, which means you'd have to drop the engine, intake, throttle body, tune, headers, exhaust. And it's $28,000. I don't think I would do Dundon D4 on my own version, like if I'm gonna have a long-term version of this car. So that's what made me make the decision to say, I just don't want to go that far. The car doesn't feel underpowered at all to me. In fact, it feels freaking fantastic. So I'm not going to do it. And Jamie and Dundon and I talked about it quite a bit. And so what I'm probably going to do, we'll see, is I'm probably going to do the custom titanium center section, which is like a $6,000 difference on this car. I think I'm going to do that because I'm not going to do the full D4. All I have to say is anybody who gets in this thing is not going to be disappointed in it. It's really nice. And I am pretty pleased. I was really second guessing myself. I said, I should have just spent $300 and bought a better car, a better version of this. But then I wouldn't have been able to do all this fun chase. And the dry ice cleaning wouldn't have done much. The before and after wouldn't have been as fun, wouldn't have been as satisfying. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Hey, who knows? Maybe you guys will buy so much stuff that I make $1 million and buy a $700,000 RS 4.0. How cool would that be? Let's do it. Help me out here. Help me help you. Help me buy a $700,000 car. Maybe we should do a giveaway on RS 4.0. I was thinking about trying to go real big and do a 458 Speciale giveaway, but they're $600,000-$700,000 now, so I don't know if I could pull that off. I'd have to be really focused, and we'd have to run it for like 3 or 4 months. It would be fun though. Who knows? I never in a million years, when I decided to do the giveaway on the 1M, 3 years ago now, never in a million years thought I'd do a car like this. No way. Well, here we are. And it is freaking glorious. These wheels make the car, man. Absolutely make it. I'm an idiot. I was about to throw away the calipers, the original calipers that were on here. And I'm like, shoot, let me just throw them up there for a ridiculous price, $1,000. And I had like freaking 50 people wanting them. Like, oh shoot, these are worth a lot more than I thought. Should have sold them for a couple grand. The new door sill or whatever that is, a little door jamb piece and new edge guards, the protectors for the seats, the whole package, man. The fresh, clean Alcantara, the new shift knob. I really like the Alcantara center console. Once I get the yellow cage out of here, the red will really pop and look really, really clean. To me, red interior, like the red pulls on the door, just makes me think 997. So, and again, I've said this a million times, I'm not a big proponent of trying to match my calipers to the interior of the car. It just doesn't, not my style. Wow, look at it. Yes, this is great. Yeah, I gotta pull the tint. It'll be way better. When I take the cage out, we'll pull the tint. I'll talk to Martin about it, how to do it. I should have paid more attention when he was doing it. I really think I should re-tint it though. I don't know. Okay, that looks good. Let's wipe off the back, then we'll do the wheels. A quick little vacuum. Let that drain a little bit first. I coated all this under here. And we got the new props. Yeah, good, 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 good. Nothing but good. Yeah, it feels like my car now. Finally starting to get the timing of things down correctly. Normally I detail it too early or put the parts on in the wrong sequence where I'm taking the wheels off. You know, I put like new lugs on and then I take the wheels off 500 times and ruin the lugs and have to get new ones. You know, stuff like that. I've done a bunch. This one, like I waited, despite the fact that as soon as I got the new center lock nuts, I wanted to put those on. I'm like, nope, just wait. Let's get everything done. I'll get the wheels done while I was waiting for some other things to get finished, like the dry ice cleaning and stuff. And I just did everything at the proper timing. Go. I coated the air box back here and everything. Looks great. Take my word for it. See, I feel like you don't have to micromanage back here, but if you wipe it down every single time, even though I'll miss some spots generally, if I wipe it every single time, then on average, I'll hit all the spots. Yeah, I think I gotta get a new tail light somewhere in the dry ice process of getting it reassembled. I chipped the tip off of that. The only disadvantage is, you know, I can see some polish on some of the joints of the PPF, but in general, now it's smooth as silk. Yes, it's good. Let's do the wheels. Oh yeah, I wanted to do a quick little vacuuming. Oh, don't spray that on there. I love these wheels on this car. Just magnificent. This and the Lawsons on my 16 and 19 RS. I still have those wheels in storage, by the way. I've been hanging on to them. They no longer make them. Porsche said they look too similar to theirs, so they cease and desisted them on those. I think they look quite a bit different. But I'm hanging on to those. So when I get another RS again, another 991 RS. So this is the part after the detail. I really like to get like the first application of tire dressing. Because we did a deep cleaning on them with some stoners, and then this part is what makes them look really good, because now it's ready to accept some fresh tire dressing. It tends to be a little not as evenly covered, not as even looking on the initial application, but now from here on out it'll look great. Cup twos do pretty well. Here. Yeah, man, I haven't been this excited about a car in a long time. I take it back. My E92 over there is pretty exciting. I think what really has resonated with me, if you haven't been following, go check out the journal that I've been doing on this car. It's really photo heavy, where I'm journaling my whole ownership experience and all the different parts and pieces going on the car and all the things I learned about. It's a lot of work to do that, but that has kind of brought me back to my roots of what I really enjoy most about having a car, especially since I have been not able to really drive lately. Makes me second guess my whole existence, since I can't frickin' drive down the road more than a few miles. Just put yourself in my shoes for a minute. As much as you love cars, I probably am depending on how much of a car lover you are, I'm some factor of that, either more or less. Regardless, it's a love affair that is a significant part of my life. And then put yourself in my shoes, you can't drive to the grocery store because you have a frickin' panic meltdown. It's frickin' terrible. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it's because I have a pass out. I have obsessive compulsive disorder, which causes me to just obsess to the point to where I work myself up so much that my body goes into fight or flight mode. And although it's never happened driving, there's always that potential that I could be driving down the road and then have a pass out event. And it's part of the big issue in 2014 when I started the channel, was a way for me to get out of my own head. And then, I've had many different events of major stresses the last few years. Lately, I think a major contributor to my inability to drive has been too much. There is a such thing as too much of a good thing. I'm not complaining about that. I'm just telling you that I have a hard time. If I can get a car, I get a car. If I get 10 cars, I get 10 cars. When really I'm best suited to just have 2 or 3. Moving houses because I can. It's probably, it's not the smartest thing. So I'm starting to gain a little bit of traction with myself of slowing down a bit to speed up. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if I slow down, the business ascent, the everything ascent, and realized I've already ascended to where I'd want to be. The only thing that I would like is to be able to buy whatever car I wanted, and then of course be able to drive it down the back mountain road. That's all I want. And so this humbling of not being able to drive when I want is probably not the world's worst thing. Frustrating, yes. I'm gonna hold on to hope till my dying breath that this is a temporary thing. Now it's just simplified my expectations of, hey, I really just want to be able to drive down the road. I'm not really concerned about. I just want to be able to drive in Helen in the mountain roads. Even if I have to avoid, you know, I-95 or, I think I'm okay with that. I don't want that. I want to be able to drive where I want to be the driver, not the frickin' passenger. But shoot, I'd be okay to just be able to drive to the gym down 441 unimpeded and smiling, enjoying, putting the windows down and enjoying the simplicity, the simple things. So let's do a quick little vacuum and then we'll wrap this one up. How does this look here? Let me come over this way so you can see what I'm doing. Check out how cool this is. So this has always been my thought that I would do at some point, is to credit my friend Nick Jones out in the Boulder, Colorado area, where he turned me on to Idahos and modern day. But the OG vacuum solution should be out in weeks. I don't need all the slack, that should be good. How cool is that? And I can just do a quick little, I've got to work on accessories though, that's the big problem. Accessories that we have are not good. Boom. The other side is good. I just needed to do the drivers. Then, actually, all we do is let the drag them. We're good. This is gonna be my vacuum drawer. We're gonna have this all gridded out. Accessories are coming next. All right, that's a wrap for the wash. Actually, while I'm here, let's cover it up. Let's see if our Visoc cover works here for us. Let's swap our wheel thingies. So the RS ones that are on there are pretty jacked. So I'll put these on. I've got some additional screws that I needed. You have to stay inside because you keep running away. Bad news. So then this little tab, that's fresh. The other ones are just banged up a bit, a lot. Just not very nice. These suckers are 200 bucks. So we got new nuts, new wheels, new brakes, new caps. Nicely polished PPF. We ended up in really good shape here. You're bad. You're not allowed to go outside. You keep running away. I know what you want, but you can't have it. You gotta stay in here with me. Because the people, you're gonna get run over by some cars. And that's because you're a dum-dum. You're real smart, but man, you got a death wish or something. Last one, put the cover on. You're gonna stay here, or you're gonna run away? If you run away in the dark, you're gonna get killed, so it's on you. Stay in the driveway. Now let's cover it. Let's see how this thing fits. It's gonna be big, because this car is quite a bit smaller. And this is not a Visoc, but now this is an indoor only cover, and it's very, very soft. Both sides of it are super soft. The car's so slick though, the thing wants to take off. So I just put the mirrors on first. Yeah, a little big. Gets the job done though. So, the only car I gotta wash is the purple car, E36. Man, this thing fits great. Look at that. Cool. Keep the pollen off of it. Looks nice. Oh, I forgot to give you a camera walk around. We'll do that next time. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next wash and talk, or see you on the next video. It shouldn't be too far from now. Do a lot more washing, a lot less huge projects, which I'm gonna enjoy. Take on more. Feel like my detailing process, I need to really dig into that. Start to teach people how to do stuff. Talk about more audio systems in the garage. Anyway, more to come. Thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy. We'll see you on the next one.